Okay, so in today's class, we will see the roles and responsibilities of SAP function consultant in different kinds of projects. Okay, so what are the different kinds of projects? One would be the implementation project, correct? Another kind of projects are support projects. Support projects, and another project would be minor development projects. And you might also have few rollout projects as well. Rollout projects. Okay. So these are the four different kinds of projects where you will work when you enter as a SAP consultant into any IT industry. Okay. Implementation project. So what happens? What is the role and responsibility of a consultant in an implementation project? So he is responsible. He is responsible for the entire implementation of that respective module. If you are a PM consultant, you are responsible for the entire implementation of the PM module for their organization. So, I mean, when I say responsible for the entire implementation, so what are all things you need to do? So, as a consultant, you need to you need to do the baseline configuration. Baseline configuration, do the FUT, correct, and do the documentation, and also if there are any RiseFW objects. RiseFW objects also need to develop those. Develop those objects. Okay. So this rise of objects you will work in an implementation project, and also you are responsible for the uh, SITs, correct? System integration testing. You are responsible for the SIT testing, and also you are only responsible for moving the, I mean, creating the transports, creating the TRs, and coordinating with the basis team to move to its higher environment. Higher environment in the sense what? Moving from development system to quality system, and moving from quality system to pre-production system, and
Yes,
moving again from pre-production system to the production system. So all this you are on as a functional consultant. We need to coordinate and we need to move those with the help of the basis team. Okay, and you are responsible for the end user trainings, right? You are also responsible for the cutover activities, and also in the UATs. Yeah, and also I forgot to mention the UAT, right? One second. Yeah, this one, fifth point, UAT. UAT, user acceptance testing, user acceptance testing, and need to manage the defect also. Defect. What is a defect? Let us say in user acceptance testing, users will test. Not we won't test. Users will test. Correct. Users, when user find anything that is wrongly processing or which is wrongly configured, then they will create a defect and assign to us, saying that it was supposed to work in this way, but it is not working in that way as expected. So can you please fix this? So that defect will be assigned to us. So what we need to do? We need to check in the system what is happening, and we need to solve that. And you must assign the defect back to the one who has assigned to you. Okay, so that defect management also we need to take care. Okay, those are all creating a defect is just for the tracking purpose. We will have one tool where we will where they will raise a defect and we will uh, assign the defect on our name. We will check in the system what is the missing, what is the issue, what is the root cause for which it is wrongly behaving, and we will correct that and we will assign back the defect to them and they will test again and they will close that. So that kind of defect managing also we need to take care. And after cutover activities, we will responsible for the smooth go live. Okay, smooth go live. And yesterday, these are the points which we discussed yesterday only. But since we are discussing now the different kinds of projects, so that is the reason I am repeating once again. So responsible for smooth go live, and you are responsible for the hypercare for let's say 45 to 90 days. It depends on company to company. You have 45 to 90 days. So these are all the roles and responsibilities of a consultant in implementation project. So let's see now for the support project. So what is the support project? Support project is nothing but implementation was already done for that particular client. So we need to support only. We need to just look into the day-to-day issues in the production system, and the users, whoever the users are there, they will raise a incident for us in the ticketing tool. So first point would be responsible for responsible for uh, daily responsible for smooth uh, process in production system. Correct? We are only responsible for that. Second, need to address the incidents which are raised by the users, which are raised by users when they find any issues in the production system. Okay, any issues in the production system. So we are only responsible for that, right? And how we will address those issues? Definitely, for each company there will be one ticketing tool. Ticketing tool is what? In the ticketing tool, they will be able to raise incidents. So we need to work based on that incident only. We should not work without an incident. So whenever user asks us, nowadays users ask us, ping us or just email us saying that this is the issue I am facing, this is the issue I am facing in SAP in the production system. So the first reply we need to give to them is please create an incident. Okay. Only after creating incident, then they will assign that incident to us. Then only we need to start working on that particular issue. We should never work without an incident for that issue. Okay, because that is very important. Because once you work without an incident, and at some point of time, the user may tell that I haven't told you, so why you have worked? So we cannot trust, no. So that is the reason we should first reply we need to give them is please create an incident and assign to me. Then I'll look into it. Okay. So then user will create a defect. Sorry, user will create an incident. He will mention what is the problem he is facing, and he will assign to us, and we will change the status of that incident from open to in progress, and then only we will start working. That is very important. Okay. And so as a consultant who is in the support project, he will be taking care of taking care of and tries to resolve the incidents which are assigned to him, which are assigned to him. Okay, him or her, whatever. Okay. So apart from this, he is also in some cases in some of the support projects also the users will be asking us to do some configuration. Okay, why they will ask to do some configuration? Because time to time the process will get changing. They would need some other additional configuration in the system and all. So we need to do, even though you are in a support project, some minor configuration, some small configuration, like creating a new planner group, additional planner group, creating a new maintenance activity type, creating a new maintenance MRP controller, let's say. So these are all the new configurations that keeps on coming, even though you are in a support project. So what you are also responsible for performing that configurations. Okay. So how you will do that configuration? So in the same way like we discussed yesterday. So you will first go into the golden client. You will do that configuration. You will capture that in a transport request. Okay, and you will do that FUT, and you will move that transport request to quality system. Again, you will check there. Okay, and the same path, it follows the same path. So that small configurations also you are responsible to do that. Okay, and majorly in the support project, for our performance, like our performance is measured in the ticket solving. Means ticket solving in the sense, let us say there are two consultants working for SAP plant maintenance for one project, and you both are in support project. So you resolve quickly, very quickly, the incidents which were assigned to you. There is no escalation, but your teammate is taking time to resolve the issues, and it was getting escalated. Okay, so now the delivery manager, whoever is managing that support project, so at the end of the year, if he wants to give an increment in the salary, so he will just check what is the resolution time that you took to resolve that particular incident. So if you are very quickly resolving, then he will give preference to that guy only, right? So that plays a very important role in the support project. But in an implementation project, all those things and all will not matter, because you are only responsible. No matter what you do, you work for continuously 3 days or 4 days, or you work for 1 hour. No one will question you. You are responsible for entire smooth flow of all this process. But whereas in a support project, we are responsible how quickly, how quickly we are resolving that issue. Okay, so in any support project you take, there will be SLS. What is SLA? Service uh, service line agreement. Okay, what is service line agreement? Which means that first of all, while giving the contract and to any software company, right, the client and Uh, sorry, it's not service line, it's service level agreement. Okay, I was confused. So, client and the IT service company will decide the SLA. So, what is an SLA? Client says that they will categorize their incidents into P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay, so what is P1? It is very critical. Very, if they find any critical issue in the production system, so that they will categorize as P1. What is P2? P2 is high, okay, high priority. P3 is medium priority. P4 is low priority. So you will have two columns here. What is that? One is I'll write here. Okay. One is response time, and second one is resolution time. You are understanding, right?
Sure, yeah, I'm understanding.
Okay. Yeah. So one is response time, one is resolution time. So for the P1, wait, I'll put here. So for the P1 incident, your response, what is response time? Response time means as soon as the incident user create an incident, as a consultant, we need to acknowledge that. Acknowledge in the sense we need to respond to that incident and immediately you need to change the status from new to in progress. Okay. So that is response time. What is resolution time? Resolution time means how much time you are taking in order to resolve that issue. So that is the resolution time. So response time for the P1 incident would be 2 minutes. Okay. See, the 2 minutes means you must be very quick uh, to change the status from as soon as you check the P1 incident is assigned in the ticketing tool. You must immediately what no matter what is the incident later you can check. But first of all you need to change the status from new to in progress. So the response time is 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you need to do that. If it is more than 2 minutes, automatically alert will be sent to the user. So nowadays the ticketing tool are much more advanced. So even if you don't respond within 2 minutes, if system knows that it is a P1, immediately alert will be sent and it gets escalated. So that is the reason you need to be very alert in the support project. So response time is 2 minutes. Resolution time is 2 hours. So even that resolution would be an on call. On call means what? Whoever the user, whoever the consultant like you will be in call only. You will not resolve that without speaking. I mean, you cannot resolve taking time. Everyone should first join the call and they will discuss in the call. And in the call only, as a consultant, you need to resolve that issue. Okay, because it is critical. Even all the managers delivery manager from the client side, the responsible manager will all everyone will join in that call. Okay, because it's that much critical. So and now for the high incidents, your response time would be 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, you need to respond that, and your resolution time will be 8 hours. In 8 hours, you can resolve it. In P3, your response time is 2 hours. So within 2 hours, you need to acknowledge that particular incident, and your resolution time is 24 hours. One day they will give. Whereas in P4, your response time would be in 8 hours. Means within 8 hours, slowly, around say, you can respond to that, and your resolution time would be 48 hours. You can take around say 2 days to resolve that particular issue. So this is how the SLAs will be defined. It is not for every company. It would be not the same case, but most probably it would be this timings only. Okay. So if you cross this time based on that particular category, it will get automatically escalated, and it will show on your name. It will show that these are all the pending overdues. You need to supposed to complete within this time, but you are not able to complete. So it will affect our uh, performance also. Okay, so you need to be a bit careful on when you are working in the support project. And one more advantage in the support project is most rarely you will get P1s. If you get P1s, that would be in the finance area or in the PIPO area, means this process integration area. Okay, so middleware team. For the plant maintenance and for the production planning or for the metal management, I don't see many critical issues. But in SD, FICO, Finance, definitely they will, and treasury module, they will always have the P1 insurance. Okay, so that is how you will work in the support project. So what about the development project now? So development project is nothing but already it would have been implemented, but there would be few more developments that need to be completed. Okay, few more additional developments that need to be completed. They might have left because of a budget issue, because in the implementation project, company, the let's say Accenture, they would have charged, as I told yesterday, they would have charged 100 crores. So the client tells that I don't have that much budget, so you please try to um, reduce your quotation. Correct. So what Accenture will do? Then in that case, they'll say that okay, there are this many development that need to be done. Out of let's say 50 developments, we will do only 30. Once you get budget, rest of the 20 developments we can do in the next year or in the next cycle. So that kind of leftover things. So those developments again, the client will think to implement. So that is known as a development project. Okay. So in the development project, it would be very similar to an implementation project only, but not into this much detail. But the way you do the development, the way you do the testing and all, it would be the same like the way we do for the implementation project. But baseline configuration and all would have been already done. Okay, so just you need to focus on the rise of objects. So, and rest of the things would be pretty much same as per the implementation project. Only baseline configuration will not be there in the development project. So, what is a rollout project? So, rollout project is, let us say, you have, let us take an example of Amar Raja only. Okay, Amar Raja has plant in, let's say, near Tirupati and near, let us think, Chittor. Okay, right. Now, what they were thinking, they want to extend their plant setup. I mean, they want to again create, sorry, what to say? Build a new plant near Hyderabad. Let us think. Okay, they, they want to set up a new plant in Hyderabad. So physically, anyway, they will set up. But in SAP, how we need to extend that plant to Hyderabad? So we need to extend all the baseline configs, correct? Baseline configs to a new newly created plant, right? You need to extend all those baseline configurations which are at the plant level to the newly extended plant. So that you will call it as a rollout project, which means that it would already the configurations would have been there for one single plant. You need to extend all those configurations to the newly created plant. So project is called as a rollout project. Okay. After extending the baseline configurations to the newly extended plant, again what you will do? Again you will do transport. You will move that transport from development golden client to 110. Again you
FUT.
will do the FUT. Again you will do the documentation. Again you will do the SIT. There again you will do integration testing. Again UAT. Okay. Again it will go to the production. So that is common. Everywhere you go, if you want to move any configuration, this is the standard steps that you need to do. Okay. So that is known as the rollout project. So these are the only four areas where I work as a consultant. No other project will come in. No other kind of project is there. It should be either a implementation or support or development or a rollout. That's it. So now there are a few terms that we need to understand in an implementation project. What is it? Greenfield implementation. I'm not sure if you have heard this. Uh, you will have one called Greenfield implementation, and also you will also hear this word called brownfield implementation. See, if in the IT industry or in the software terminology, they will always speak in this way only. So it is very important for you to understand what is meant by greenfield implementation, what is meant by a brownfield implementation. So what is a greenfield implementation now? So greenfield implementation means, let us take, for example, uh, I'll always go with your that company only. Okay, so Amaron and Exide is there. Okay, Exide. So Amaron and Exide both are battery manufacturing companies. Correct. So let us think in this way. Amaron and Exide both have the both manufacture batteries jointly. Okay, which means that they both uh, have that collaboration. If you take an example, Maruti Suzuki has a collaboration from long period. It has a collaboration. Means Suzuki guys, they entered into India with the help of Maruti. Correct. In the same way, if you take an example, Hero Honda. Previously, Hero and Honda were two jointly they were manufacturing the two wheelers. But now what happened? Hero separated, Honda separated, right? In the same way, in future, probably Maruti might get separated, Suzuki might get separated. So when they work together, and if they have a common ERP system, if they have common ERP system, and if they are working together, and if they try to separate, because there can be many reasons to separate. The contract might be completed, or they think that we can handle separately. So if they try to separate, then Exide, I'm taking the example of Exide here. So Exide will set set up a new SAP system. Okay. So till then, Amaron and SAP work in the same system, but Exide will think that okay, it's time to leave Amaron and work independently in the market. So Exide will get separated, and in order to run their business, they need a ERP. ERP in the sense SAP system, right? So then what they will do? They will reach out to let's say Infosys. They will reach out to Infosys and say that I need to implement SAP HANA, S4 HANA to my Exide company, and we are separating from the Amaron. So I need a new ERP S4 HANA system. So what they will do? They will tell that we have the processes, everything as a reference we can take from the existing system, but I need a new system. So that kind of upgradation, so that kind of upgrade and is known as greenfield implementation. Okay, this is not very very important. Na? If someone when you go into a new job, if someone says that yeah it's a greenfield implementation, they won't explain all this story and all. They'll simply say yeah it's a greenfield implementation project. You need to work. So we need to understand. So what is meant by a greenfield implementation project? So this is if the situation is like this with the client, then that is known as a greenfield implementation. Now, what is a brownfield implementation? Let us take example of Hero Honda. Okay, Hero Honda. Hero Honda work jointly to produce bikes. Correct. Now, both Hero Honda company are using ECC 6.0 version. Using ECC 6.0 version SAP. Okay. Now they think that they need to upgrade both collectively. They are not separating here. Let us take if you take Hero Honda, it would be confused for you. Let us take the Tata Steel only. Tata only. Okay. So Tata till that Tata is using the SAP 6.0 only. So they need to upgrade to latest HANA version. Okay. So it's a kind of just an upgrade. Just the way you upgrade your mobile OS, right? From Android 11.1.2 to Android 11.1.4. It's an upgrade. So that upgradation, we will call it as a brownfield implementation. Nowadays, they're also calling as a transformation project. Transformation project. Okay. Transforming from ECC to S4 HANA. Or someone will call it as a brownfield, someone will call it as transformation project. So everything relates to the same situation. Okay. So this is very important. You got it right?
Hello.
Hello?
Sorry, a small doubt.
Huh. Yes, yes.
Greenfield అనేది స్ప్లిట్టింగ్ అంటే టూ కంపెనీస్ కొలాబరేట్ వర్క్ అయింది స్ప్లిట్ అయినప్పుడు చేసే ప్రాజెక్ట్ ని మనం గ్రీన్ఫీల్డ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అంటాం.
Yes.
బ్రౌన్ఫీల్డ్ అంటే అప్గ్రేడేషన్.
Yes, yes.
మెయిన్ డిఫరెన్స్ అదే కదా.
Yes, yes. Main difference is that only. Yes, correct.
ఓకే.
Okay. Okay. Now let's move to I think basic introduction, basic things and all whatever we want to discuss, we discuss. Now we'll move to SAP. Okay. Okay. Screen కనిపిస్తుంది కదా?
విజిబుల్.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, in SAP, have you, went through this SPRO transaction? మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా SPRO?
చూడలేదు బట్ క్లాస్ విన్నాను.
Okay, okay, no problem. See, the end user, end user will only work on this particular transactions. SAP, he will see this screen only. Here he will do whatever the drop downs are available with respect to each stream. See, plant maintenance consultant will only work on this particular thing. Production PP guy will only work on this two. PP process, PP production. Logistic execution will only work on here. SD, and you will also have FICO, finance, accounting. Okay, but as a consultant, you will mostly work in this node. Which node? This thing. These are the several console. In general, in SAP, they will call it as a console. So as a consultant, you will work or you will do every configuration. Okay, entire configuration you will do in this SPRO. Very, very important. You will always work in SPRO only. Throughout the day, you will work in SPRO only. If not, if you are doing any testing and all, you will check in the respect to T code. Okay, but this is very important. So, as a plant maintenance consultant, you must be very thorough on what are all the drop downs that are present under plant maintenance and customer service. Okay, for us, this is like a Bible. So, you must be very, very thorough on each drop down. So, I won't say that you must by heart all this, but if you work daily, if you practice well, you will get familiar with all these kinds of settings and all. Okay, because in an interview, they'll simply ask, so tell me the path where you will create a new maintenance order type. So then if they ask that question, you need to tell go to SPRO, click on plant maintenance and customer service. Okay. Click on maintenance and service processing. Click on maintenance and service orders. So click on functions and settings for order types. Okay. Click on configure order types. So like this you must be able to tell. Or else you can simply tell the T code also. OIOA. Either you can tell the T code or you can tell the path. But for some of the configurations, you must remember the T codes. You will not always go with the path because you might forget also which functionality or which configuration is in which path. So in those cases, uh, you need to remember that particular T code. Even though you don't remember, see all these are only for the interview point of view. Once you get into any project anyway, you will have that much time to explore and check which configuration is in which node. Anyway, Google is there. You can simply ask Google T code for order order types. So in Google it will clearly, it will be visible. But from the interview point of view, I was saying that you need to at least know few important configuration paths and few important configuration T codes. Okay, that is very little important. Okay, so now we will see the master data. Okay, we will see the master data in SAP plant maintenance. See, any module you take, let it be plant maintenance, let it be production planning, SD, F5, whatever you take. For each module, it will have a module specific master data. Master data in SAP PM. So what is meant by master data? So master data means it is a kind of data where it can be used in your entire plant maintenance and also in other modules as well. Okay, very very important. So master data. So what is the master data in SAP PM? Functional location. Okay, functional locations is the master data. And equipment. Equipment is a master data. And again, work centers is a master data. Okay. Next, bill of material. Bill of material is a master data. Task list. Okay. And
serial number.
sorry.
Serial number.
Ah, yeah. You can also take the serial number. Serial number is a master data. So, we covered equipment, functional locations, work centers, BOM, task list. Ah, one last thing.
Class- Classification, permit.
Yeah, you can also call class and characteristics. Class and characteristics is a master data. And also material master.
Yes, very much.
Material master. So this is a master. It's also a master data. So these are all the master data that are available in SAP plant maintenance. Okay. So now, as a consultant, we need to understand each and every master data. So what is a functional location? What is an equipment? What is the T code to create an equipment or to create a functional location? What is structure of for the functional location? So everything we need to understand. Once you are able to complete the master data thoroughly, I would say 40% of our training is, 40% of SAP PM is completed because master data plays very, very important role. Once master data is done, left is what? Maintenance planning, and other part is maintenance execution, and the other part is reports. That's it. So master data is a major, very important uh, topic, okay, which we need to understand. So now, coming to the first master data, that is what? Functional location. Functional locations. Okay. So what is meant by a functional location? So let us take an example of your company only. Okay. Amaron only. I will take an example. In Amaron, since it is a battery manufacturing plant, it will have many what to say sections.
Branches.
Yeah, many sections and many processes. Correct. What are all the processes? There can be there can be raw material handling station. Correct. Where all the raw material, incoming raw materials are handled here, RMHS, and there can be conveyor conveyor area where the raw material will be sent through the conveyor belts, correct, into the plant, and there can be like the production area, right? Production area. There can be,
Storage. Yeah.
sorry,
Storage. Yeah.
store area. And you can, yeah, you can take that also an example. And you will have utility area, right? You will have again here
Maintenance.
maintenance also you can take, no problem. Maintenance area or workshop you can take as a workshop. So and finally some assembly and dispatch area, right? So in this way, I just mentioned in a brief level, on a very higher level. So in this way, you can categorize your entire plant into these particular areas, right? Now, functional location means, let us say, in the raw material conveyor area, we'll take in the conveyor area. So you want to create the same conveyor area in the system, correct? And under that conveyor, you will have multiple equipments. In a conveyor area, you have what? You will have motors. You will have motors. You will have pulleys, head pulley, right? You will have head pulley, tail pulley, correct? So what pulleys will do
Gear.
is, because the conveyor, if the conveyor want to move, right? So pulley need to rotate, correct? So for that you will have a motor fixed and all. So those are called as equipments which are installed under this conveyor area. In the production area, you will have some lathe machines. Just for example, I am saying you will have lathe machines. You will have some automatic uh, machines. So just let's take an example of. We will not focus on what machines are there, but they might have installed few machines in the production area. In the same ways, there would be In the utility area, you would have some compressor, you will have some pumps, correct? All this comes under utility area. This is all the equipments, and this is the functional location. So now you want to map this in SAP. How you will map? So any functional location, if you want to create in SAP PM, you will make use of structure indicator. Structure indicator. So what is a structure indicator? See, company says like the client says that if you want to, if my functional location should look like uh, AMARON, first it should start with Amaron, and it should start with CNV, conveyor area, okay, and it should start with conveyor CNV 1, conveyor 1, okay, and uh, pulley 1, or else let us take your company code, okay. Let us think that your company code is 1710 and your plant is Amaron. Your company is Amaron. Your plant, let us take 3000 is your plant which is in near Tirupati, and CNV1. Okay. This is how they want to see in SAP. Some may tell that no, I need just like 1710 AMRN dash 3000 dash CNV1. Some may tell like this, okay, right? Some may tell no, I want like 1710 company code AMRN Amron 3000 dash CNV1. If you see in detail, the structure is getting changed, correct? So in the first structure, what is the structure here? NN means numeric alphabet. Alphabet is XX, correct? And then again NN, and again XXXX. Sorry, alphabets, right? Sorry, it should be yeah. And the character X is nothing but it can be a both number and alphabet XXX. In this structure, how it is like XXX XXXXX NN again XXXX, correct? Here XXXX XXXXXXXX dash again XXXX, right? The structure is getting changed based on how the client wants to see their functional location. So that is known as the structure indicator. So you must ask them, you must ask the client as a consultant when you are in an implementation project, you will ask how you want to look your functional location in the system. If they don't have the idea, then you can give them an idea like the way how I'm explaining to you. You can also explain them, saying that see, this is how we will design a structure indicator in SAP for functional location. So now you just tell me how you want to look your functional location in the system. Then they will think on that. It is not it will not get completed within one day, huh? Not even one day. They will definitely take 1, 2 to 3 weeks because if that is an implementation project, they want to decide themselves how they want. They will ask all the main important users. They will ask them. They will take their opinion. They will decide them. They will also discuss with us. So finally, they will come up with one structure indicator. So that is very important when you are creating a functional location. Okay. So this structure indicator, like the way I shown you, this is what? This is a configuration. This is a configuration that we need to do in the system. Okay, this is the structure indicator. See, if I show you here in plant maintenance customer service, first master data, basic settings, uh, one second, technical objects, functional locations. See, create structure indicator for reference functional locations, functional location. Click on that. See, see how it looks like here. There are multiple functional structure indicators already exist. If you want, you can also create your own functional structure indicator. How you will create? Let us create one new thing. Okay. So new entries. Okay. Structure indicator is ZPM. You can give any one. So since we are customizing a new one, so I'm putting as Z. PM is our model. So the structure indicator. I will create a structure indicator. SATRUCTUR for SAP PM training. Okay. Like for since we are using for training, I'll just enter the name here like this. Next, edit mask. So how you want to look your structure indicator. So put it as x 4x dash. Okay, dash. Uh, you will also again put dash xx dash xx. Okay, any both alphabet and number you can enter here. If you keep x, if you keep n, or if you keep a, only you must enter n number or in alphabet only. If it is x, it can take both alphabet and numbers. And hierarchy levels. Hierarchy levels also is xxxx dash xxxx dash xxx x. What happened? Invalid characters. Huh? What happened to this? Okay, xxxx. Wait, one second. Oh, sorry. Wait. Uh, New entries, ZPM, indicator, xxx. So, hierarchy is 1, right? 1. This is second hierarchy level. This is third hierarchy level. This is fourth hierarchy level. Okay. Hierarchy level must be the last character of a block. Okay. Right. Yeah, see. Now if you try to save this, okay, if you try to save this, see, it is asking for a transport request. As yesterday we discussed, right? So any configuration will be saved in a transport request. So how you will create a transport request? This end user will never create a transport request. Only a consultant who is responsible to do the baseline configuration, all this configuration, will create a transport request. So now I am creating a new transport request. So how you will create? Click on create. Okay. This is my user ID. In a real time, you will get your user ID. Okay. Short description. So structure indicator, structure indicator for SAP PM training. You just enter it also. Okay. And if if you are in a team and there is also your teammate who can also later you who wants later to add his particular config, you can add his name also, his user ID also. Okay. Now I have saved this. Right? So it was saved. So now where you can see yesterday I told SC09. Go to SC09, enter. My user is 21, user 15. My username is 21 user 15. Enter. See, structure indicator for SAP PM training. Customizing task. So this is the parent task. Parent TR. This is the task. Okay. If you click on this, you will find here IMG activity, create structure indicator for reference location. Click on this. Click on this. Here, that particular, see, ZPM, it got stored here. You saw that 800 is a client, huh? So, this is golden client. 800 here is the golden client. Okay, see, DPK2 800, client 800. So, like this, any configuration will be stored in a transport request. And simply you will move this transport request throughout the system. Okay, so this is how we will create the transport request. Okay, so just since we are speaking about the functional location, so I just created one structure indicator for the functional location. But in the real time, first of all, not only in real time, even in the training, for in our training, we need to first create the organization structure, org structure. Okay, org structure you need to create. What is org structure? Org structure means, see, in training, in our training, you can go with the standard available plans, which is there in the system. Like our standard available plans are what 1,000, 3,000. You can go with this because entire these are all the SAP provided configurations for these two model plans, right? But if we want to create a our own plant, our own planning plant and all, then you must go and create the org structure. So what is org structure of SAP PM? So org structure of SAP PM. So what are those? Creation of a maintenance plant, okay, and creation of planning plant.
Planning plan, planning group,
Sorry,
planning group,
planning,
planning group,
planning view.
group.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Planner group. మీది వాయిస్ ఇంకా ఎందుకో కొంచెం బ్లంట్, కొంచెం లోగా ఏదో ఎక్కడో మాట్లాడినట్లే వస్తుంది మరి. Okay, creation of location, creation of plant sections, okay, and uh, creation of planner group అయిపోయింది. Maintenance activity types. So all these are the org structure in SAP plant maintenance. So if we want, anyway, we will create our own plant and we will do the entire process in our own plants only. Okay, we will not go with the standard available plants because if you go with the standard available plants, you will not able to explore all these kind of configurations. So that is the reason we will go with our own plants and own org structure only. Okay. Now, I think shall we create today or shall we see tomorrow? It's 8:30 actually. We'll do one thing. We'll see tomorrow that okay. It's anyway 1 hour completed. If I start this now, it will take some more half 45 minutes, and it would be cross 9. Anyway, we can see that tomorrow. Tomorrow we will see how to create a org structure. We will create a new our own org structure, and we will cover the functional location and equipments tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll anyway share this sheet. This sheet would be see day to day. I'll update in this sheet only. So day two was yesterday's one. Day three and day four, day five, day six like that. Okay. This sheet I'll be always uploading in that Google Drive along with that recorded video. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think yeah we will stop this for